All right, Aiden, here's look at some slalom free ski. All right, hey, some nice turns. Clean, arcing, carved. Sometimes a little long for slalom. Closer to GS or in between at times, but overall some good skiing. Gotta remember in particularly slalom, but also GS, we don't want to be standing up tall in the transitions. Right? You have a tendency to pop up tall, up unweighting in the transitions. We really want to do the opposite. We're going to be down unweighting. We really call it retraction. We're going to flex the legs instead of extending them, allowing the skis and feet to cross from one side of us to the other in that transition. We don't have time for that. That takes a lot of time and distance. In a slalom course, you'd be way wide on every gate because we don't have nearly the time for all that. So don't pop up. Actually, do the opposite. Flex the legs. In other words, bend the legs for kind of down unweighting. You can see how tall you get there. Again, standing up tall. Another thing is your upper body is very erect, like straight up and down. Right? We really need to have a more, a little more flex, a little more bent at the waist. I don't want you bending over, but ideally, and it's hard to see here, you get good ankle flexion. You can see that down there, right? But we want our back to be at that same angle. Your back is always like that, right? We need to be a little bit more like that. What are we working on? Shoulders over knees. Your shoulders on over your knees, right? So we got to get a little more into a ready position, athletic, shoulders over the knees. It's you can see, very upright. Your upper body, very upright. All right. And lastly, those hands. I mean, you like them down by your sides. I mean, we've been talking about this for years. It's not that hard. Lift them up, right? You got to imagine you're carrying a cafeteria tray in front of you, right? Hands up, elbows in front of the body, and don't keep dropping them, right? Use your wrist to plant the pole. It's going to help you a couple things. One, it should get you a little more forward or tilting the upper body, shoulders over, the knees. When you have your hands on your side, you tend to be, straight up and down, right? Just straight up and down, right? So we got to maintain our 3 rules of hands. Hands above the waist, which you're breaking that one. Elbows in front of the body, breaking that one. And hands should be a little bit wider than the elbows. No chicken wings or things like that. So carrying cafeteria tray. Hey, when you're going down free skiing, your warm-up run, hold your poles in front of you horizontally. Get used to having your hands and out in front the whole time and your elbows in front of the body. And we just use a pole plant. We pole plant, pole touch just with the wrist. All right, so let's think about that arm placement for you. Let's think about a little more bend, a little more flex in the waist to get shoulders over knees, and we can't pop up in the transition. 3 things, and we'll quiz you next time I see you.